the three learning styles. You have kinesthetic, auditory, and visual. And what that means is kinesthetic is where you learn from doing it. You have to have some type of movement. I was that kinesthetic learner. I was bouncing when I was reading. I was doodling when I was supposed to be listening to speakers, but I still understood because I had some movement. And other people, other kids will learn auditorily. They'll learn from listening, sitting in lectures and listening. And others will learn from seeing it be done, seeing it written out, stuff like that. Mom, do you have any fun stories or anything to talk more about that?
Well, yes, because when Devin came first, so I was used to how he learned, and he's a very visual learner. If he can see it, he understands it. So, like working with flashcards was great for him. He learned that way. He was interested in that. So, if it had a picture or some sort of diagram, he understood it better. And I tried all of that with you, and it just never worked. And what is even funnier is when I look at your grandmother that you go and spend time with, she's very auditory. And you can tell that because she likes to talk. She likes to hear you talk. It's everything she would prefer to be doing where she can hear you. So these are the different learning styles, and everybody has a little bit of all of them, but we always have one that's primary, one that really helps us learn better. And so sometimes we kind of have to test out which one is going to work the best. And if you've got kids, well, there's a good chance that they learn differently. So they're not going to be all the same.
I just realized something. It's easy. You don't need to take a test or do anything. It's pretty easy to figure out how your children learn. And all you have to do is think about these three different learning styles. But I realized that one year I was a high school teacher. I needed to type out and have overheads made. Yes, it was that long ago. We had overheads of every note and everything that I put on the test. I not only said it aloud, but they had to see it and write it down. That is how I got, and I had no clue I was doing this. I just thought it was the best way to do things. But I hit all three learning styles because they were writing, taking notes, which even if they never read them, it was moving and they were listening to me. If they learned auditorily, they were hearing me speak because I would say what was on the page and then I'd go into more of an explanation over it. And if they needed to see it, like me, I could pretty much memorize a page as long as I saw it. But really, if I saw it and wrote it, even if I couldn't read my own writing, I knew what was on that page with the book closed, which used to drive my wife nuts when we were dating in college because I could tell her exactly where on the page an answer was and what page number it was. So, yes, look at your kids and see, hear, and feel the ways they are learning better. And then let them do more of that, whether you're homeschooling them or they're just coming home to do homework. And some of them say, well, I want to have the radio on. Well, let's do an experiment. Do a week worth of homework or from now till the next test and leave the radio on. And let's look at what your test grade is. And then the next test we go and we leave the radio off and you sit in with no distractions and see how much better you do on which one. So don't just immediately ignore that. I get nervous if I don't have noise in the background. I always have to have a podcast. If it's late at night and I'm tired and I can't think, I'm driving home, we had just flown all night and I still have to drive home, I need the radio going. Even if I can't understand it, if I can't hear it, I need a little bit of noise in the background or I get nervous. I don't know why that is. It just, maybe it helps with my tinnitus, but it does help me focus. So try out different things, even if you don't think they might be best for your children. If the children believe that's what's best, what's that effect called, Ethan?
The placebo effect. And if I may add, me too, I will, whenever I'm out and walking the dog, or sometimes when I'm inside doing work, I'll just I'll put in my headphones and listen to not even music, just like a beat. So there's some noise and it will help me focus, which kind of sounds weird that putting on something that you would you think you'd be focusing on to make you happier would keep you focused, but it actually does help for me. And sometimes I'll write stuff down. Like if you tell me to do something, I'll write it down in my to-do list because
And
I
you
know
never
if I
look at
try
your
and
to-do list.
if I write it in my to-do list, I know I'll remember to do it even if I never look at my to-do list. But if I don't write it down, I'm more likely to forget it.